Welcome to Dorico for Media Composers with me, composer and orchestrator Adam Kempshall. This new series is targeted at those who wish to write music for film, TV, or video games and would like to know more about preparing notation for recording. Many of the things that I will cover will also be relevant for anyone wishing to learn more about using Dorico in general. If you enjoy these videos, please do like and subscribe to the channel. In this first episode, we will start at the very beginning because, after all, that is a very good place to start, and we will be focusing on setting up the project and all the instruments. Now, eventually, you will hopefully not have to keep doing this because you will have templates that you can use for new projects, but it is also worth understanding how this works. So that's enough of my face. Let's go look at Dorico. Right, we're going to imagine that we are working on a large orchestral project today, and I will point out where you may want to use different settings for a smaller project. So after opening Dorico, we're going to create new and then go to empty, and we can set a couple of things on the panel on the right, those being our project name, which I think today I'm just going to call project name. And we can also set our name or the name of our composer if it's not a piece we've written. Then in this case, I'd recommend setting the page size to A3 because we're going to have a lot of instruments today. And we can also set the rastral size. Let's start at 5. Okay, and this can all be changed later once we see what it looks like on the page. I'm going to change the music font to Leyland and the text font to California FB, but this is just personal choice. You can set these to your own tastes or set them to the defaults. We will keep a 4/4 time signature and 32 bars, but we will remove the key signature, and there's more on exactly why we were doing that in a later video. Then we click Create Project. Okay, so here we are in the player setup screen, and here you will most likely want to add ensemble so that we can set up the entire thing in one go. So we click that and then start typing in the ensemble at the box at the top. So we're going to go for double woodwind. So we go 2, 2, 2, 2, and there we have double woodwind, and press tab. That just confirms that is in place. And then for our brass, we're going to go for 4, 3, 3, 3, 1. And then we want 3 percussion, a piano, a harp, symphony, and a string section. You do have the right string section, not just strings, otherwise you just get a one player with some strings. And then we click add, and it's all there for us. If for some reason your page layout is not correct, we can just go into layout options onto the page setup, change the size, change the rastral size if we wish. I am just going to turn on condensing for now, but again, more about that in a future video. I would like to have my second flute player doubling piccolo, so we can select flute, press the plus, start typing piccolo, there it is, add that, and now our second flute player is also holding a piccolo. Now remember, with Dorico, that these names here are the names of our players. Okay, they're not the names of the instruments. They just happen to be named after the instruments because that's the convenient thing to name our players. But flute 1 is holding a flute. Flute 2 and piccolo here is holding a flute and a piccolo. He or she cannot play both at the same time. So we have to consider that later on when we're doing orchestration. We have a whole section of violin players and a whole section of second violin players. But I would also like our oboe to hold a cor anglais, our second clarinetist to have a bass clarinet, and our second bassoonist to have a contrabassoon. So I'm just going to set that up quickly off camera. Okay, there we go. So I've given our woodwind players those extra instruments to hold. I've also changed our trumpets from C to B flat instruments, which is more standard, and I've changed our third trombone player into a bass trombone player. With our percussion, I'm going to delete the default instruments and then add a bass drum, a snare drum, and a suspended cymbal. So if we look down here, You can see they've got these sort of 3 standard default kits. We don't want that. We want to have them holding their individual instruments. It just works out better in the end. The percussionists will likely have multiple instruments assigned to each of them. And I will also talk about setting up correct percussion labeling in a future video. So there we go. We can see they're not currently labeled as we want, but as I said, we will sort that out another time. So that gets our instrument set up. And if you hop into galley view, you can see we have all the instruments now on separate staves, but remembering that, as we said, our second flute player is holding a flute and a piccolo, so they cannot play both at the same time. But this is where you will end up probably doing your writing and orchestrating, because it's particularly in condensed view, you can't write anything into these staves. You have to do it all in galley view, and then it works it out. That's it for today. So in the next episode, I will look at some of the score-wide media music-specific setup. So that's massive time signatures, no key signatures, bar numbers everywhere, and constantly casting off. If you don't know what casting off is, then you'll just have to watch the next video. Thank you for watching today, and please do like and subscribe for more.